Hello, hello. Here, I'm going to show you just one of the better ways to start your first day on a Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. One of the first things I like to do is collect all the plants around the village to be able to sell them later. Right here, you see me coming back to feed my cow. It's very important that you every day check your animals' feeders and make sure that they have food in them. I'm also going into checking the tools. Of course, at the very beginning of the game, you start with the lowest grade tools. All the tools can be upgraded to higher tiers once you have the money. You can see all the empty slots. You'll be able to fill all of those by the end of the game. It is important to also use the cow milker when you are milking your cow. It helps produce higher grade milk and sometimes more quantity of it. Remember, you always want to feed your animals and you always want to try to keep them happy. The happier they are and the more they're fed, the healthier they stay, and the less likely they'll become sick or even pass away. You can lose cattle in this game. Now, one thing about the field behind the barn in the PlayStation Edition needs to be fertilized at the beginning of the game to start growing. Now, in the original GameCube version, it does not need to be fertilized, but for some reason, when it's switched over to the PlayStation, they made it so that you have to fertilize the field again. It doesn't cost too much, it's more tedious, and if it's something that you don't do soon or early on, it can really affect your later game. Right now, you're just seeing me collect the remainder of the flowers in the village, and then you'll see me go up to the dig site where I dig for extra currency to start off the game, because the more money you can get at the beginning of the game, the better. Because you have expenses left and right when it comes to trying to expand and better your farm. But in this game, every day you kind of want to make a routine, something to just get used to make sure you're maximizing your time, because it does go by quickly, and you want to try to just expand as much as you possibly can, because the more you expand in this game, the more money that your farm will generate and the more upgrades that you can put into your farm, because the upgrades do become pretty costly. When digging in the archaeological site, there doesn't seem to be a real pattern to me. I like to dig 3 to 5 times in one spot, 3 to 5 times more if I find an item. The ultimate goal is to find ancient tablets, which is really rare. It takes a while in the game. But until then, you're just mining up money. You can later sell this and make some pretty good cash. Once you're done at the archaeological site, you'll always show him your rarest item, and he'll never take the item as long as it's not an ancient tablet. So you just get to keep all the rest and add it to your collection and sell later. Twice a week, a salesman comes in town and you can sell them all your inventory and make all profit. Or if you choose, you can set up shop in town and sell your items individually to the villagers. The game is pretty advanced for its time, in my opinion. This game came out in the same era that Animal Crossing did on the GameCube. I first experienced this game on the GameCube. Right here, you're gonna see me buy a whole bunch of fertilizer. Now, it's up to you how much fertilizer you get, but you should at least I would guess, around 20 fertilizer to make sure that later on in the game, you're not screwed, you're not messed up or without food for your animals, because good food for your cows and your sheep and all that costs quite a bit. So what you want to do is get all the fertilizer and you have to go individually fertilize your field. Now the good thing is that you don't have to do it more than once. So you only have to fertilize each little square once, but there's a few hundred squares and it takes time. It's tedious and expensive. I will say it was much more enjoyable in the GameCube version, where you can just skip this process entirely because your field will just grow without fertilizer. I will say for its time, this game was pretty advanced for farming sims, in my opinion. It's kind of one of like the early on farming sims, and it is cartoonish and it does have the Nintendo vibe, but it is still very worth playing today in 2022 if you want to get a feel for the old school farming sims. And like I said, this process right here, it takes some time. It's tedious, annoying, and your first couple days, your first about 2 weeks in the game are going to be tedious, trying to get money, starting off. You're going to want to start off, focus on your cattle mainly, and because you want to do the cattle because it is where most of the money is. There is money in chickens, but not as much. That's just something that kind of just produces a very small income. They're cool to have. Fruits and vegetables and all that they do bring in a lot of money, but it takes a lot of maintenance and a lot of work to bring those in. The easiest money you can bring in is from cows and their milk. Now keep in mind, I bought 60 fertilizer and it only filled up those 3 lines right there. So you can just get a kind of an idea how much fertilizer that you will eventually fertilize the entire field. Now here I am, you can put food in your dog dish. That's kind of one of the things I do with the plants is I pick them every day when I can to eat and also put in the dog dish. Here I'll show you where you can put all the plants, all the vegetables that you can gather, vegetables and fruits. You put them in this bin, and then in the other bin is where you would put your eggs and milk, as you'll see here shown. When you put your products in here, you won't get money until the next day. But you will get the best price for what you're selling by doing it this way. And here you'll see me going to the cow for a second time, because right after they give birth, and also at the beginning of the game, you can milk them 2 times a day, and you also want to make sure that they have food. Now you'll notice, because I fed her earlier, she'll produce a lot more milk than the first time. But for the first few days, you do want to repeat this process where you get up, you milk your cow, then you go, you collect the plants, and you're gonna want to go then to the dig site, dig up, come back, milk her again, and then go to sleep for at least 2 or 3 days. Once you get more money, you start getting to get chickens, and also a fishing pole where you'll be able to fish as well as dig for the extra money. But you'll always want to be doing something in the game to get an item to sell, either by pulling plants, to milking, to digging on artifacts out of the ground. There's also other cool little mini side quests that you can find throughout the village that you can look for. But here you will see in this one, I will be going to sleep a little bit early. Your ideal sleep time is going to be 9 to 10 o'clock. So on your first day, you should definitely dig in the artifact site for a little bit longer than I did. Now, later in game, you will be able to upgrade those areas and expand where you can plant. This is where you keep the chickens. It's a real small area, but you can keep them and multiply them. The biggest money is not in the eggs with those, but the chickens themselves. Once you get the machine for it, you can repopulate them. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best with your farm.